One thing I'd like to do, Mr. Amato, stand, raise your right hand, sir.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, I'd questioned you last Friday. Now at this point, the state's finished their case. At this point, are there any questions that you told your attorneys to ask on your behalf that they refused to ask on your behalf?
No, ma'am.
Likewise, were there any questions that you told them not to ask but they still did ask?
No.
Are you satisfied with the questioning that was done by your counsel?
I am.
Also, were there any arguments that you wanted your attorneys to make on your behalf that they refused to make on your behalf?
No.
Are you satisfied with the arguments that have been presented by your counsel thus far?
I am.
All right, thank you, sir. You can have a seat. All right, are you all ready for is your witness ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, who is it so we can start to get them in the room while we go get the jury?
I'm sorry?
Who is it so we can get them in the room while we get the jury?
Sloan Young, Judge.
All right, if we could get Sloan Young, please, and if you could go get the jury. You may be seated.
Judge, can we approach before the proceeding has advanced?
Briefly. Okay, defense, if we could have Ms. Young then, Sloan Young, approach. And Sloan Young was the defense's the defense's first witness?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, raise your right hand, ma'am.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the complete truth, so help you God? I do.
Okay, if you could have a seat, please, and make sure that you have a seat whereas the deputy instructs you. Members of the jury, the state has rested their case. The defense is choosing to put on a case at this point, and this is their first witness. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Ms. Young. I'm sorry we have to talk under these circumstances. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm sorry for your loss, okay? Did you previously know someone named Cody Amato?
Yes, I did.
Did you work with Cody Amato?
Yes, I did.
Now, on January 24th of 2019, around 9:15 p.m., were you working with Cody Amato?
Yes, I was.
Did Cody Amato leave somewhere around there?
Yes, he left around 9:15 p.m. that evening.
Okay. And before he left, did he tell you he was calling his dad?
He did not specifically say he was calling his father. He said, from what I told the police originally, that he received a phone call because that's what it appeared to look like from where I was sitting. However, phone records stated that that was incorrect. He looked at his phone and he put his phone up to his ear, and I looked at him and I said, "Who is that?" And he said, "My dad," and he walked away. So he made the call.
Okay, I understand that. Okay, so, but that's what he said that night, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then Cody left soon thereafter. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the impression that something was wrong?
Yes, sir.
And did he go ahead and leave after that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Judge, may I have a moment? No further questions. Thank you.
Ross?
Ms. Young, do you know for a fact that Cody called his dad or received a call from his dad?
Yes. Phone records state that he made the call.
That he said he was calling his dad?
Yes, sir.
But it's true that you don't know if he actually spoke with his dad?
At the time, no, because he walked away.
Okay, so he never received a call from his dad?
No, sir.
And all he said to you before he actually made connection is that he's calling his dad, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you don't know whether or not he actually got through to his dad?
No, sir, I'm not aware if he did or not.
Okay. And you and Cody were dating at the time that this happened, correct?
We had started seeing each other a couple of months before he passed.
Did Cody have a blink camera in his room?
I'm sorry?
A blink camera in his room?
The camera that if someone walked in, it would alert them?
Right.
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you redirect?
None, Judge.
Members of the jury, you have any questions? Write them down. Could you please state your full first and last name and spell it for the court reporter?
Yes, my name is Sloan Young. It's spelled Sloan and then Young.
What is your relationship to Cody and Grant?
I never met Grant. Cody was a colleague and a friend of mine before he passed, and we were very close. Obviously, we would entered into a type of relationship. So,
Any questions, Mr. Shapiro, based on those questions? None. Any questions, Mr. Stone? Questions. Any more questions, members of the jury? All right, thank you very much, ma'am. You can step down. All right, Mr. Shapiro, you can call your next witness.
Nicholas Stewart, Judge.
Mr. Stewart, you're still under oath. Come forward, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stewart.
Good afternoon.
Did you perform the extraction on Chad Amato's cell phone? I know you may have answered some of these earlier.
I did generate the report, yes.
Okay. And were you able to review Chad's incoming text messages that were placed into evidence earlier?
Yes, I did.
Judge, may I approach the clerk? Mr. Stewart, is this one of those text messages from January 18th of 2019 at 11:50 p.m.?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you know who sent that text message?
I know what number sent that text message.
Oh, let's go with that. Do you know which number sent that text message?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Whose number was that?
The contact listed with that number would have been Cody Amato.
And by stipulation, we've agreed actually that 407-687-0736 belonged to Cody Amato. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. So this message, would it be fair to say, came from the phone of Cody Amato?
Yes, sir.
And what does the text message say?
Dad, for the third time now, delete the Blink app.
Okay. And the status underneath of it says red. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what does that mean?
That would mean that the phone that it was sent to has opened up the text message, and whether it was read or not, I don't know, but the text message was opened.
Okay. And does it indicate red on up there, R-E-A-D?
Yes, sir, it does.
Who was the recipient of the text message?
The phone number associated with Chad Amato.
Okay. And that was on January 18th, 2019, correct?
Correct.
Okay. May I approach the clerk, Judge? Now, did you also perform an extraction or a forensic analysis of the Surface Pro in this case? Was it Surface Pro?
Yes, sir, I did.
Was that the computer that was found in Grant's hotel room?
Yes, sir.
Now, the state, did they go over these past pieces of evidence with you? I believe they did. That would be state's number 295.
Yes, sir.
Does this show a AT&T Wi-Fi connection was accessed on January 25th of 2019 at 3:06 p.m.?
Yes, sir, it does.
And then, did you also go over with the state's 294? That would be this list right here.
Yes, sir.
Were you asked earlier about whether there was any viewing of news on this document?
I believe so, yes.
Right. Now, does this document span from 2:54 a.m. on January 25th to 3:08 a.m. on January 25th? I can zoom out for you.
If you could.
I'm sorry. Let's go to the top first. So, is it fair to say that January 25th, 2019 at 3:08 a.m. is the last entry on this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the first entry is that January 25th, 2019 at 2:54 a.m.?
Yes, sir.
So how long does this cover?
A short period of time.
Okay. Does it cover the rest of January 25th?
On this piece of paper, no.
Is it possible that news sites were visited after January 25th, 2019, based on this document?
It could be possible, yes.
Nothing else at this time, Judge.
Cross?
Sir, you were asked about the deletion of the Blink, a text message regarding deletion of a Blink application.
Yes, sir.
If you have knowledge, and you can answer this question, would deleting the application delete all the data that goes along with it?
Not necessarily.
Okay, like what?
You could save videos or whatever else from the app to your device itself.
But if the videos were not saved to the device, and they were just in the Blink app, would those videos be deleted?
Yes, they would.
And with regard to did you review the news, that document that defense counsel showed you spanned just the date of the 25th.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Did you continue to review the Surface Pro to see if any news sites were visited?
Yes, sir, I did.
And up to what point in time, if you recall, did you review that Surface Pro to see if news sites were visited?
I reviewed it extensively to the dates that were there until we seized it, and I found no evidence of it.
Okay, so it's not in that particular document, but it's part of your review. You
Yes,
didn't
sir.
find any news sites visited.
No, I did not.
Thank you. No further questions.
Redirect?
Nothing, Judge.
Any questions for this witness? All right, no questions from the jury. May this witness be excused and released at this point?
At this point, Judge, yes.
All right, from the state as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused and you're released, Mr. Stewart. Defense, you can call your next witness.
Geraldine Blye, Your Honor?
All right. We could get Ms. Blye. Ms. Blye, you are still under oath, so if you could please come forward.
Good afternoon, Investigator Blye.
Good afternoon.
We were just talking about the Blink application. Did you perform a forensic analysis on Chad Amato's cell phone?
Yes, I did.
Did you determine that the Blink application had been deleted from Chad Amato's cell phone?
Yes, I did.
What time and date? Actually, let's go with the date first. What date did that take place?
January 25th, 2019,
Okay, and what time did that take place?
12:31 p.m. A.m., I'm sorry.
And did you see evidence earlier from USAA Bank that Chad Amato's fingerprint was used to access his USAA banking application on his iPhone?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing you what has been previously entered into evidence as State's Exhibit 288. Do you recognize this?
I
gotta zoom
would have
out,
to-
Sorry.
See all the document because
This document right here?
Yes, I do.
So does this document include a entry at January 24th, 2019 at 12:08 p.m. Eastern Time?
It would be January 25th, 2019 at 12:08.
Right.
Yes,
Excuse me, January 25th, 2019 at 12:08 a.m., correct?
correct.
Okay. And that entry says that it was accessed through an iPhone application. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
And does it also say that the event type was a biometric fingerprint?
Yes, that's what it says.
That says that that was the event question type. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's what the title says.
And the response, does that also say pass next to it?
Yes, it does.
Okay. No further questions.
The time of 1/25/2019 at 12:08 a.m. That's referenced to that particular document that defense counsel was just showing you. Does that comport with your forensic examination of the phone and the time that that particular USAA application was accessed?
Yes, it did.
And it was accessed via fingerprint.
Yes, it did.
And of course, you've previously testified that fingerprints, that application can be accessed via fingerprint. Is that so?
Yes, it can be. Mhm.
Thank you very much.
Any redirect?
None, Judge.
Members of the jury, any questions? Write it down, please. Approach. Zip it up again. All right, our jurors have questions. Is it true that the USAA app was accessed by fingerprint on Chad's phone and a transfer was completed to Grant's bank account?
I would be able to testify as to the fingerprint portion. I don't know about the bank records because,
And then looking at the exhibit, the USAA app was opened via fingerprint on January 24th at 11:08 a.m. or p.m.
no, this right here is Central Standard Time. So we're here, or back in January 24th and 25th, it was Eastern Standard Time. So it's an hour difference. So it would be on January 25th, 2019 at 12:08 a.m.
All right. Any questions based on those questions, Mr. Shapiro?
None, Judge.
Any questions based on those questions, Mr. Leo?
I have one question. The access with regard to the fingerprint at 12:08 on the 25th, do you know why a fingerprint would be needed to access that application?
Yes, the USAA app allows you to log in with a passcode or with a fingerprint. So if you don't know the password, the passcode, you can use a fingerprint.
Any redirect?
USAA is the one who makes that requirement. Is that correct?
Yes, they do. People, whoever made the app. So,
No further questions.
All right, members of the jury, any more questions? All right, may this witness be excused and released from her subpoena.
The state no longer needs her, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Blye. You're excused and you're released from your subpoena. Defense, you can call your next witness.
Judge, at this time, we would call Arthur Rubart.
Again, Mr. Roubart, you're still under oath, so if you could please have a seat in the witness stand at this time, since you're not released from your subpoena. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rubart.
Good afternoon.
Is it fair to say that you stated earlier that you photographed the interior of the Amato home?
Yes, I did.
Judge, may I approach the clerk?
You may.
Judge, I'm showing the state what's pre-marked as defense exhibits F through double K. Oh, sorry. Judge, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Roubart, I'm showing you what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit F for identification purposes. Does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take this photograph?
Yes.
What is this a photograph of?
It's a photograph of a closet in the home.
Okay. Do you remember whose closet it was? Some other ones. Mr. Roubart, I'm going to be a little bit more specific.
Okay.
Is this a fair and accurate representation of the interior of the Amato home? Part of it?
Yes.
How about Defense Exhibit G? Is this also one of your photographs?
Yes.
Is this also a fair and accurate depiction of part of the interior of the Amato home?
Yes.
Okay. How about Defense Exhibit, what's been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit H? Is this also one of the photographs you took?
Yes.
Is this also a fair and accurate depiction of the interior of the home?
Yes.
How about what's been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit I for identification purposes? Is this also one of your photographs?
Yes, it is.
And is this a fair and accurate depiction of part of the home?
Yes, it is.
How about what's been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit J? Is this also a fair and accurate depiction of part of the home?
Yes, it is.
How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit K? Did you take this photograph as well?
Yes, I did.
And is this a fair and accurate depiction of part of the inside of the home?
Yes, it is.
Did you take the photograph that is in what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit L?
Yes, I did.
And is this also a fair and accurate depiction of the interior of the home, part of it?
Yes, it is.
How about Defense Exhibit M? Did you take this photograph as well?
Yes, I did.
And is this also a fair and accurate depiction of part of the interior of the home?
Yes, it is.
Is it the same thing for Defendant's Exhibit N? Is this one of your photographs?
Yes, it is.
And is this also a fair and accurate depiction of part of the interior of the home?
Yes, it is.
Did you also take the photograph depicted in what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit O?
Yes,
For
I did.
identification purposes? Is this also a fair and accurate depiction of the interior of the home, part of it?
Yes, it is.
How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit P? Did you take this photograph as well?
Yes, I did.
Is this also a fair and accurate depiction of inside of the home?
Yes, I did. Or yes, it is.
Thank you. And what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit Q? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is this, once again, a interior photograph of the home, part of
Yes,
it?
it is.
Thank you. How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit R? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Now, is this a fair and accurate depiction of part of the exterior of the home?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. How about Defense Exhibit, what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit S? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Did you take this photograph of the exterior of the Amato residence?
Yes, I did.
Now, all of the photographs so far, these were all taken when? January 25th?
No, various times between the 25th and the 30th.
Okay, various times. How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit T for identification purposes? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of part of the inside of the home?
Yes, it is.
Is this the, oh, I'll get to that in a second. How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit U? Is this a photograph that you took?
Yes, it is.
Was it taken during the same time period we described?
Yes, it was.
And is this also a fair and accurate depiction of the interior of the home?
Yes, it is.
How about Defense Exhibit V for identification purposes? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Did you take it around the same time period?
Yes, I did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the inside of the residence?
Yes, it is.
How about Defense Exhibit W? What has been pre-marked as such? Did you take this photograph as well?
Yes, I did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of the interior of the home?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit X for identification purposes? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Was it taken around the same time period?
Yes, it was.
Is this a fair and accurate depiction as well of the interior of the home?
Yes, it is.
Part of it? Did you take this photograph? What has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit Y for identification purposes?
Yes, I did.
Did this item come from the inside of the home?
Yes, it came from the home.
Is this a fair and accurate depiction of an item taken from the inside of the Amato residence during the time period we've described?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. What has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit Z for identification purposes. Is this also an item that was taken from the Amato home?
Yes, it was.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of such?
Yes, it is.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Was it taken around the same time as all the other ones?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Are these also items found in the home that is depicted in what has been pre-marked as Defendant's Exhibit AA for identification purposes?
Yes, they were.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Did these come from the Amato residence?
Yes, I did.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of items taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, they are.
Thank you. How about this item that has been pre-marked as B as defense, that has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit B? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is this is a photograph of an item taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of such?
Yes, it is.
And was it taken around the same time as all the other photos we've gone over so far?
Yes, they were.
Thank you. Is what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit C a depiction of the same item?
Yes.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is this a fair and accurate depiction of an item taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
And did you take this photograph around the same time?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. How about what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit D for identification purposes? Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of items taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
Was it taken around the same time as all the other ones
Yes, it was.
that we've gone over so far?
Yes.
Thank you. How about Defense Exhibit E for identification purposes? Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of an item taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
Was it taken at the same time as all the other ones?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Defense Exhibit F. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of an item taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
Was it taken around the same time as all the other photographs we've just gone over?
Yes.
Thank you. What has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit G? Is this the same item we just saw?
Yes.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Did this item come from the Amato residence?
Yes, it did.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of an item taken from the Amato residence?
Yes, it is.
And was it taken around the same time as all the other photos I've just shown you?
Yes, it was.
Do you recognize what is in Defense Exhibit H for identification purposes?
Yes, I do.
Did you take this photograph?
Yes, I did.
Is this an item that you photographed inside of the Amato residence?
Yes, it was.
Is it a fair and accurate depiction of such?
Yes, it is.
And was it taken around the same time period as all the other photographs in this pile right here?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. Judge, at this time, I would ask to enter into evidence what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit, actually, I might have missed a couple, Judge, I'm sorry. I'm sorry?
You could have them do them all at once.
Okay, how about these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit H, what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit G, what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit F, what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit K, and what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit J, and what has been pre-marked as Defense Exhibit I. Did you take all those photographs?
Yes, I did.
Are they all fair and accurate depictions of the interior of the Amato home?
Yes, they are.
Were they all taken around the same time period as these other ones, between January 25th and January 30th?
Yes, they were.
And they're all accurate depictions of such?
Yes, they are.
Judge, at this time, I would enter into evidence these photographs as defense exhibits next.
Any objection? No, Your Honor.
All right, what's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit C will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 3 in evidence. What's been E? Oh, it starts with E. Yes. Well, E will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 3 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit F will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 4 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit G will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 5 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit H will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 6 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit I will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 7 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit J will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 8 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit K will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 9 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Exhibit L will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 10 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as M as in Mary will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 11 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's N will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 12 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's O will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 13 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's P as in Paul will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 14 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Q will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 15 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's R will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 16 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's S will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 17 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's T will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 18 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's U will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 19 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's V as in Victor will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 20 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's W will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 21 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's X will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 22 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Y will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 23 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's Z will be moved into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 24 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as AA will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 25 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's B will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 26 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as C will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 27 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as D will be moved into evidence, Defendant's 28 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as EE will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 29 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's FF will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 30 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's GG will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 31 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's HH will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 32 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's II will be moved into evidence as Defendant's 33 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's JJ will be moved into evidence as 34 in evidence. And what's been pre-marked for ID as Defendant's KK will be moved into evidence as Exhibit 35 in evidence.
Judge, permission to publish them and some questioning that I have for Mr.
You may.
Roubart.
No?
Okay, Mr. Roubart, would you assist me in showing where these photos were taken in the home?
Yes.
You've already testified about these diagrams, correct?
That's correct.
Are you familiar with them?
Yes, I am.
That would be State's Exhibit 19. I believe it must be a composite exhibit because this is the second floor. Okay, so you're familiar with both of these diagrams? Is that
Yes, I am.
correct? So let's start with Defendant's Exhibit 3. Do you recall where this was taken? Possibly Grant's closet?
I believe it is Grant's closet, yes.
Okay. Do you see a pair of gloves in this photo?
Yes, I do.
Do you see some foam inserts? That would be maybe these gray.
Yes,
Do you recognize those foam inserts? Are they foam inserts?
they appear to be.
Okay. Do you also see some gun boxes in there as well?
Yes.
And so according to the diagram, that would be right here in the closet. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you recognize this photograph right here?
Yes, I do.
What is this a photograph of?
Another photograph of Grant's closet.
Okay, is this the same closet?
Yes, it is.
Is that just a different side of the closet?
Yes.
Do we see another one of these foam inserts sitting on the shelf?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. This would be Exhibit 4, is that correct, Mr. Roubart?
Yes.
Oh, sure, sorry. I'm showing you Defendant's Exhibit 5 in this photograph. Do you recognize that photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is this photograph of?
It appears to be a photograph of some boxes in Grant's closet.
Oh, sure. Is this another photograph of Grant's closet?
Yes, it is.
Just a different portion?
That's correct.
I just want to keep in order. Oh, I just want to keep in order, that was all. Okay, great. Did you want to see the next one too, or just? Okay. I'm showing you now what has been placed into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 6. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is this photograph of?
It is of a wood closet that was in the master bathroom.
Could you call it an armoire?
Closet armoire, yeah.
So, would that be located right there on State's Exhibit 19?
That's correct.
Sure.
I got one.
Oh, perfect. That would be very helpful, thank you. So, that's where the armoire is?
That's correct.
And that's in front of a couple of doors, right, to the exterior?
That's correct. Okay.
Oh, I forgot, yeah, there's the mouse. Thank you, Ryan. I'm showing you now what is Defense Exhibit 7. Is this a photograph of the same armoire
Yes, it is.
or closet? And are these two doors that are behind it?
Yes, they are.
Showing you now Defendant's Exhibit 8. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I do.
What does this appear to be?
That is the inside of the armoire.
Did you testify earlier that this would be used for growing marijuana?
Yes, I did.
How can you tell? How can you tell?
I could tell because there is a light source here. There is an exhaust fan here. The inside is totally taped up with aluminum foil. And there is some other growing equipment here on the floor.
Okay, so you're not unclear about what the purpose is here, correct?
No,
Does it look like it's took a lot of work to make?
it would appear so.
Okay, and I'm showing you now what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 9. What is this a photograph of?
One of the doors of the armoire.
Okay, is that foil on the exterior?
Yes, it is.
Do you recognize Defendant's Exhibit 10?
Yes, I do.
And you took this photograph, correct?
Yes, I did.
And is it of the same armoire?
Yes, it is.
Is this just a close-up of the same armoire?
Yes, it is.
Showing you what's been entered into evidence at Defendant's Exhibit 11. Is this just another close-up of the same armoire?
Yes, it is.
I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 12. What is this photograph?
It's a photograph of a lamp hanging in the armoire.
And you stated you took this photograph as well earlier, correct?
Yes, I did.
And I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 13. What is this a photograph of?
It's a photograph of some equipment that was at the bottom of the armoire.
Okay. I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 14. What is this a photograph of?
It's just a photograph of the other door, in the inside of the other door of the armoire.
So did you thoroughly document this armoire?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 15. What is this a photograph of?
It's a photograph outside of those doors where the armoire was up against it.
Okay. So what's that material that's on these doors?
Some sort of foil material.
Now, why would somebody do that?
Objection, cause for speculation. Sustained.
Does tin foil reflect heat?
Yes, it does.
Do you think that tin foil might have been put there on purpose?
Yes, I do.
Do you think its location was coincidental next to the armoire?
Objection, cause for speculation. Overruled is direct question.
No, I don't.
I'm showing you now what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 16. Is this just the larger photograph of the tinfoil?
Yes, it's a photograph of those same doors.
Thank you. I'm showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 17. What is this a photograph of?
It is a photograph of Chad's closet in the master bedroom.
Okay. And on State's Exhibit 19, that would be right here, is that correct?
That would be this closet right here.
Thank you. Showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 18. What is this a photograph of?
That is a photograph of 3 mason jars and a metal tin on top of a gun safe in Chad's closet.
Okay. And what did you suspect was in these mason jars?
I believe there was suspected marijuana in the mason jars.
Okay. I know you said this was in the closet, but is it this corner right here that we're talking about?
It would be this corner behind the door.
Okay, thank you. I'm showing you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 19 in evidence. Is this a photo of these mason jars again?
Yes, it's a photograph of those 3 same mason jars.
And there's an additional item, correct?
Yes.
And was that photographed on its own?
Yes.
Okay. For the record, that would be Defendant's Exhibit 19. And I'm showing you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 20. This is just another photograph of the mason jars, correct?
It's those same 3 mason jars from the closet.
Okay. I'm showing you what has been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 21 in evidence. Where was this photograph taken?
It was the bottom of Chad's closet.
Okay, and what are these boxes?
They're plastic boxes,
What do they normally hold?
ammunition.
Okay, and then what's in this box right here?
Looks to be some more ammunition.
Those are shotgun shells, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And once again, that's in Chad's closet?
That's correct.
Showing you what has been entered into evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 22. What is this photograph of?
This is a photograph of that item that was on top of the gun safe next to the mason jars.
Okay. And I'm showing you what has been marked in evidence as Defendant's Exhibit 23. Is this the same item?
It's the same item, but it's opened up.
What is this item?
It is a grinder
Okay, what would you use that for?
to grind up herbs.
Herbs?
Herbs,
Okay, could that include marijuana?
that would be correct.
quick publish on this one. This is the mason jars again. That's defendant's exhibit 24. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what's in those mason jars?
They are humidity scales.
Would you say that seems sophisticated? Relatively.
Relatively, yeah. I've seen more sophisticated.
Sure. I'm showing you what has been marked in evidence as defendant's exhibit 25. What is this?
That is a unmarked prescription bottle containing suspected marijuana.
Okay. Was there a label on it?
I don't believe there was.
Okay. Where was this found?
This
let
was,
me actually put the diagram up. I'm sorry. Where was this item found?
this actually was found in Margaret's vehicle that was parked in the garage.
Okay. And is this the same pill bottle or a different one?
That's the same pill bottle.
That's defendant's exhibit 26. I'm showing you now what has been marked as defendant's exhibit 27. What are these items?
These are two mint containers.
And I'm going to put the state's exhibit 19 back up. Where were these found?
These were found in a drawer in the master bathroom.
Okay. Close to the armoire, correct?
That's correct.
And I'm showing you what has been marked as defendant's exhibit 28. What is this a photograph of?
That is the inside of one of those mint containers.
Okay, and what did you find in there?
Suspected marijuana.
Okay. Would this be the matching one? That would be defendant's exhibit 29?
That's correct.
And was the same substance found in there?
That's correct.
Okay, and where again were they? In the master bathroom?
They were in a drawer in the master bathroom.
And defendant's exhibit 36, this is just another angle on that, right?
That's correct.
I'm showing you now defendant's 31. What is this item?
It is a photograph of a rifle bag.
Was there a rifle in that one?
No, the bag was empty.
Okay. Where was that found, according to States 19?
That was found just outside of Chad's closet door.
Okay. Speaking of the closet, did you all end up going in the safe that was in there?
Yes, we did.
What did you find in there?
There was a firearm in the safe.
Okay, just one?
Just one.
Okay, were there any rifles found?
No.
Okay. How about this photograph, defendant's exhibit 32? What's in this photograph? The
That
bottom,
is-
specifically.
That is a portion of Cody's closet.
Okay, and the, oof, I'm sorry, the focus is a little odd. It's a little dark. Might be able to see it better in defendant's 33. Are those, is that a close-up of this prior photo, defendant's exhibit 32?
Yes.
And what is depicted in this photograph?
A box containing ammunition.
And there are additional ammunition boxes in front of them. Is
That's
that
correct.
Okay. Do you know what that item is inside the ammunition box? It's a speed loader, isn't it?
I'm not familiar with a speed loader, so.
Okay. is this item right here? Oh, I'm sorry, you know what, before I do that, back to this ammunition photograph. Where was that found here?
It would have been found in Cody's closet.
Okay. Then I only have one last photograph. Defendant's Exhibit 34. Where was this item found?
If I can look at my notes to see what item AR9 is?
If it would refresh your recollection.
Yes, it would. Okay.
Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a photograph of the firearm that was in the gun safe in Chad's closet.
Okay. So that would have been here on States 19, correct?
That would have been in the corner of the closet right there.
Okay. I just have one last question for you. Throughout your examination of the home, actually, two last questions. How many guns did you end up finding inside the home?
Inside the home, a total
Correct.
of 3 guns.
You're saying you found no rifles whatsoever?
No.
Did you find any smoking devices in the home?
No.
Rolling papers?
Not that I recall.
Things that people would use for personal consumption? Did you find anything like that?
No, I did not.
Okay. Nothing further at this time, Judge.
Cross.
Good evening, Mr. Rubart.
Good evening.
Just going back to the last photograph of AR-9 found in Chad's closet, you did collect that gun, and that is now in evidence for the jury as States 132, and subsequently submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You previously testified, I believe last week, that marijuana was found in the home. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And the armoire that you located that was created for possibly growing marijuana, you did not find any plants growing, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you previously testified that there was no evidence of sale in the home, is that correct?
That's correct.
So no ledgers to indicate drug transactions,
That's correct.
no scales,
That's correct.
no baggies or maybe labeling mechanisms?
That's correct.
Okay. And you did not find any cocaine in the house?
That's correct.
No meth?
That's correct.
No heroin?
That's correct.
So it's fair to say the Amatos like to smoke some pot?
That's correct.
Okay. And the marijuana clearly was not stolen, is that correct?
It would appear not to have been.
Counsel asked you about the ammunition that was found in Cody's closet. Showing you defendants 33 in evidence. Do you happen to know what kind of ammunition was found in Cody's closet?
If I can look at my notes. Yes, it would.
Mr. Roubart, would it help to look at AR 57 in your notes?
Yes.
And has your memory been refreshed?
Yes.
Can you please tell us what kind of ammunition was found?
It was 9mm Luger rounds,
What brand?
a PMC.
Is that the same brand you located, the same brand of ammunition you located inside of Cody Amato's gun?
Yes.
No further questions.
Any redirect?
None, Judge.
Any questions, members of the jury? Write them down. All right, there are some questions that our jurors have. First, did you find any spent cartridges other than the 4 around the first floor?
No, I did not.
Was there any smoking devices located in Margaret, Chad's, Cody's, or Grant's car?
No, there was not.
Please clarify specifically where the rifle bag in number 31 was found. Did it appear to be normally stored there, or was it thrown there? Can we put Exhibit 31 up, please? Please clarify specifically where the rifle bag in 31 was found. Did it appear to be normally stored there, or was it thrown there?
I was informed that when deputies made entry into the home, Chad's closet was locked, so they kicked the door open, and then that fell out once the closet door opened.
Was the rifle bag unzipped?
No, it was zipped.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Shapiro, based on those questions?
None, Judge.
Any questions, State, based on those questions?
This one.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Roubart, are there multiple ways to ingest marijuana?
Yes, there is.
Nothing further.
Any redirect?
None.
All right. Any more questions, members of the jury? No. May this witness be excused and released.
At this time, yes.
State? All right. You're excused and you are finally released, Mr. Roubart.
Thank you.
You're free to go about your business. All right. Then defense. Next witness, please.
Judge, our next witness would be Rodney Funk.
Rodney Funk.
Your Honor, in the interim, via stipulation, Mr. Dowdy, the state would tender State's Exhibit 7D into evidence as a business record certification of bank records from Capital One.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. So it's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 7D. Will be moved into evidence then as State's Exhibit 352 in evidence. Mr. Funk, if you could please come forward to the podium, raise your right hand, be ready to be sworn. Raise your right hand, sir.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the complete truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
You could please have a seat over here in the witness stand as the court deputy instructs you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Mr. Funk.
Hi,
Could you please state your name?
Rodney Funk,
And where do you live, Mr. Funk?
894 Christmas Road, Chilliota, Florida.
Okay. And on the morning of January 24th, I'm sorry, that's going to be January 25th, 2019. Did you go out onto your driveway?
Yes.
And on that same date, did you hear anything out of the ordinary when you were out there?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any experience with firearms?
Yes.
What experience is that?
I have some at the house. I have a few.
Okay, do you use them regularly?
No.
Every now and then?
Once in a while, yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you know what gunshots sound like?
Yes.
Based on your experience with the guns you own, correct?
Excuse me?
Based on the experience with the guns that you own, is that correct?
Yes. I mean, experience, to use them, yes.
Sure. Now, when you were out on your driveway on the morning of January 25th, 2019, did you hear gunshots?
I don't know what I heard. No, I did not.
Did you hear a popping sound?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you hear multiple popping sounds?
3. 1, then 2 after that.
Did you speak to police when they came around asking about this case?
No.
You never spoke to police?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Later on that morning.
Okay, so police came around.
They didn't come to my house, no.
Around? So did police come around your neighborhood?
I had some errands to run that morning. I'd run some errands, and when I came back, Fort Christmas Road was blocked off, and I told the deputy that I lived down the road, and there was a patrol car sitting around my driveway. And they said, go ahead, and but the first entrance to Picket Downs is on the left-hand side, and I stopped and talked to a couple deputies and told them what I heard that morning. And they sent some detectives out there.
Okay, and did you speak to them?
Yes.
Did you tell them you heard gunshots?
It sounded like gunshots, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Sure, I understand. No
Yeah.
problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Did they sound like gunshots, these popping sounds that you heard?
Well, I've never heard a gun go off inside of a house, and I don't know how big of a gun was used at this crime. I heard popping sounds.
Okay,
It was
and-
just unusual to hear those popping sounds that early in the morning.
And you described them as possible gunshots to the police, is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
possible.
It's possible, or did you describe that to police?
Well, I can't remember what I said in my statement back then.
Is it likely?
Possibility.
Okay. Now, did you know where the Amato residence was located based on your home?
Yes,
Did you hear the shots in that direction?
yes. The popping sounds, yes.
Exactly. I think we went over this, but just in case we didn't, that was the morning of January 25th when you were out on your driveway, is that correct?
Correct? Yes, sir.
What is the approximate time of those shots, do you recall? If you don't remember, that's fine too.
I want to say maybe around 9-ish.
Okay, I understand. Judge, no further questions at this time.
Cross?
Mr. Funk, is it fair to say that it's not unusual to hear, well, first of all, let me back up. What level or degree of certainty are you that what you heard were gunshots? Do you know what I'm asking? If you have like a scale of 1, you don't know what it is, and 10, you're absolutely certain were gunshots. What level of certainty do you think you're at?
They weren't gunshots, they were just popping sounds. Now, what a gun sounds like inside a house being discharged, I have no idea. But it didn't sound like it was just unusual hearing the popping sounds that early in the morning. Then later on, noonish, a friend called and said there was a homicide by your house. Then I trying to put two to two together.
Okay, so when you initially heard them, you didn't think they were gunshots?
No, sir. It was just unusual hearing those popping sounds that early in the morning. Could have been a hammer, somebody working around on the property, I have no idea.
Okay. And let me ask you, as a general matter, I'm not just talking about that particular morning, but just as a general manner, it's not unusual to hear popping sounds in that area. People have guns, they target practice. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You may.
Mr. Funk, could you look at this? You know what? One second.
No, it is not.
If you could please pre-mark it.
I will.
Remarked as LL.
For the record.
Can I first question on?
You may.
I now approach the witness, Your Honor.
You may.
Mr. Funk?
Yes, sir.
You just previously testified that you weren't aware, or you didn't remember what you told the deputies that day? I have to get a verbal response, I'm sorry. It has to be a yes or no.
No,
Okay, so you don't recall exactly what you told them that day?
correct.
Looking at what has been pre-marked as Defendant's Exhibit LL, that report, refresh your recollection about what you said?
Yes.
I believe it's right there. If you could just read that to yourself for a moment, please. Thank you.
You want
Mr. Funk, is your memory refreshed as to what you told the deputies that day? Based on your review of this document?
Yeah, somewhat, yes.
Okay, and did you say that you heard a single gunshot on the morning of January 25th?
I didn't hear a single, I heard three pops. Sounded like gunshots.
Okay, so that would be an accurate reflection of what you recall saying. Is that correct?
Okay, yes.
Thank you. No further questions. Oh, sure.
So, Mr. Funk, so let me ask you this question. I'm sorry, yes, Your Honor.
All right, based upon the statement, you may have it.
So, Mr. Funk, if in this statement that you said that you heard a single gunshot, that's a little bit different than what you're saying today. Is that a fair statement? That
No,
You're saying that you heard, well, in this statement, in this report, you said that you heard a single.
well, they wrote it wrong. I heard three
Okay. And-
three supposedly gunshots.
Okay, and that's my next question. Right now, as you testify and as you think back then, you don't know if there were gunshots. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Members of the jury, any questions? All right. Croach. We've got a couple questions for you.
Yes, sir.
What day or days of the week does garbage or yard waste run on your pickup?
Thursday?
All right. And it says if one of the days falls on a Friday, approximately what time of day on average? So, well, what time of day?
On Friday for what?
It says if one of the days falls on Friday. So it's Thursday, and what's the other days?
Monday.
Okay, so Monday and Thursday. All right, then the second question doesn't apply. All right, any questions, Mr. Shapiro, based on that question?
None, Judge.
Any questions, Mr. Stone, based on that question?
No, Your Honor.
All right. May this witness be, any more questions, members of the jury? None. May this witness be excused and released?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, sir. You're excused and you're released from your subpoena. You're free to go, Mr. Bunk. You're welcome. All right. Defense may call their next witness.
Judge, at this time, we would call Erica Johansson.
All right. One moment, before we get Ms. Johansson on the stand, the jurors need a brief bathroom break, so we're just going to take a quick 5-minute break. So Ms. Johansson, if you could just wait outside in the conference room right there. Thank you.